Hi, my name is Bharat from Bear Street, and today we'll be talking about the trading habits that one must avoid in order to become a successful trader. This video is intended for traders who are in the learning phase, as trading is a challenging skill set which has to be developed over time by rigorous practice and by developing fine qualities that a trader must acquire in order to go from learner trader to a professional trader. And this is what at Bear Street we're looking for. So going ahead, I'll be talking more about the shortcomings of the trader that they encounter. Number one, revenge trading. This is a bad habit that a learner trader always does on a regular basis, either knowingly or unknowingly. This happens when a trader takes in a position and the market goes against his favor. So instead of exiting out, he adds in further position, thereby encountering further loss in this process. So this is a very disastrous habit that one must curtail in the initial phases of trading. Number two, over trading. This is a habit out of pure overconfidence. Usually trader engages in over trading mainly because of frustration, or he thinks because of his greed that he can get further profit out of the market. Either ways, this leads to a vicious cycle of further loss which is to come later on, and without a trader realizing it, he would rather, instead of saving his capital, would lose more capital, because in this process the risk management sometimes goes to a toss. So this is another habit that trader must avoid. Number three, overthinking. So indecisiveness is another problem. Overthinking is also another problem. Say for example, if I'm taking a position in Apple, say at 200, and it's going against my favor. So instead of just accepting that loss, I'll start thinking too much as to why it has gone like this, why it has gone like that. The news was in my favor, still the stock is going down, maybe it may reverse or retrace somewhere down. So all this kind of thinking actually leads to more clutter in the brain, leading to poor trading decisions. So these are the things you got to be careful of. Number four, entering before reversal. So say for example, you have done your research before entering the trade. You are drawn in different support and resistance lines. So you would say, if you lack the patience and you enter the trade before the trend reversal takes place, this is a habit a trader must avoid. Because what happens is, you, instead of waiting for confirmation, you'll start hoping that the confirmation takes place. Another thing to be noted is, hoping is not part of trading, because we have to be realistic as it gets. Hoping is some emotional aspect, so which we should avoid at all cost. We should always trade with pure logic and with no emotions attached. Number five is FOMO. It's a very common and a very popular abbreviation in the trading community. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. Say for example, you notice a good trend happening, but if you missed it out, rather than waiting for the next opportunity in the market, we would get impatient and try to get in the trade because you don't want to miss it out. It's a nice opportunity, why should I miss it out? But what happens is, there could be a chance of reversal and you may get stuck up in that position. So again, FOMO is another thing which people should avoid, because that is not as realistic as it gets. You got to be practical and you got to be patient in taking a right trading position. Number six, over trading. Over trading happens because of overconfidence. So if you encountered good trades for say for example, as per a trading strategy, you did 5 trades for the day and you're good, but you will engage in further trades thinking there could be further opportunities. So what happens is, greed kicks in and you would forget your trading strategy, and this is what happens. So always never engage in over trading, as this is a bad habit and you may lose focus, and in the long term it leads to loss of profit. Number seven, not documenting the trade. A trader's success can be measured through his trading record. So by his trading record, he will come to know where he stands, how is his growth in his trading career. Through the trading journals, a person could understand what are the losses or the problems that he encountered or he might have not known. As you understand, failure is the greatest lesson of all, because through failures we'll understand what we have missed out, or what is our shortcomings in the trading strategy that we miss out. So either ways, trade journal actually plays a big role. However, a learner trader must do this as a compulsory practice and not as an optional, in order to learn faster. Number eight, following news. So as day traders, we tend to take in positions which are only valid for within a day. In that sense, following news is a bit tricky one. What happens is, sometimes sentiment of the market kicks in and we may see opposite trades taking place, though there could be a favorable news. So instead of getting caught up on the wrong side of the trade because of some so-called favorable news, instead see what the trend is trying to convey to you. Or if you do not understand, always stay away from the stock. So always at volatile scenarios, it's always better to stay away and play safe. Number 9, multiple positions. A learner trader must first get accustomed to trade only through one instrument. Engaging in multiple trades across multiple equities or other instruments leads to poor indecision making. The reason being, say for example, you have 4 positions in 4 stocks. Say 2 are going in your favor and 1 you have not yet taken position, and another one had a good start in the initial part of the trade but is now going in red. What happens is you would not be giving equal attention to all, and you'll be giving more attention to the one which is making loss. So what happens is there's a chance that the other 2 trades would also go under loss and you wouldn't have booked it by then. Or another thing is another equity which you have not traded might have given you a good signal to enter in. You might have missed on that opportunity as well. Either ways, it's a disastrous habit. So always go step by step. You always trade at the max 2 equities, but not beyond that. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, a lot of mastery to start trading in multiple equities simultaneously. So practice makes man perfect. Number 10, averaging position. This is done out of pure hope. In case the trade doesn't go in your position, instead of exiting it, you start averaging it. So this leads to further loss, and this should be avoided at all costs, because this is not a practical trade. Once you know the trade is not in your position, it's always the best thing to cut the position as soon as possible. Number 11, trying to recover loss. Say your position has gone under loss. Now, instead of booking it early, you'll start waiting for it. It may reverse at this particular support, or it may retrace at this particular resistance and so forth. So what happens is, instead of booking it early, you would rather be engaged in further wastage of time into a trade which is not giving you result. Rather, it's draining you emotionally as well as your time, which you can focus on finding another good trade. So either ways, you have to avoid this habit. And the last one is not backtesting the strategy that has been implemented. So for example, you have developed a good strategy based on good risk management and money management, and you've just done backtesting only for a day, or worst of all, you've not done a backtesting. You just was too greedy and just entered in the market with that strategy without backtesting. So what happens is, by doing that, you would not have tested it in the real time sense or in the historic sense. So what happens is, in the historic sense, you would get a sense of what it could have delivered if implemented back then, and on the real time scenario, how is it practically getting implemented, how am I getting the results out of it. So that is the thing which can be measured right now, and this is the reason why backtesting is always at utmost importance. With backtesting, you can implement your strategy with ease and confidence. So that is one other thing what a trader needs: confidence in trading.